Still assigning users to Okta groups manually? Going group by group, one user at a time? That ends today. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to automate group creation and user-to-group assignments using Terraform with code that's clean, reusable, and production ready. Hello friends, welcome back to DrKloud. I'm Deepak, a DevOps architect and an automation expert. This is part of my series where I show you how to automate your Okta identity engine step by step using Terraform. If you haven't seen the user creation video, check that out first. Link is in the description. Today's goal is simple. Create Okta groups through Terraform, assign users to those groups using clean code, extend our existing Terraform module structure, and destroy or reapply everything without breaking anything manually. Alright, let's jump into the code. I'm inside the same GitHub repo from before. That's github.com/eventdepth/okta-demo. As you can see on the screen, underneath modules folder, I have created a new folder with the name group_management, where you can see three files: main.tf, output.tf, and variables.tf. This folder structure exactly mimics what we have created in user_management, main, output, and variables.tf, as these are the really required file for each and every module to work properly. We're also going to be looking in the main.tf, which is in the root directory, in order to call the module from that specific file, just like we have done for user_management. Let's begin where we always should. The official Terraform registry, group resource, and group membership resource. These two resources lets us create a group in Okta, assign users to that group with a simple list of user IDs. Now, as you can see in the resource Okta group, there are the fields which are required. Only the name is required. And if I'm gonna go to group membership resource, you can see how we can create a group as well as use the group which we have just created in above resource and use its ID, and also add the users in this group membership resource. Now there are required fields, which is group ID and the users. I'll show you how we can do this in a very simplified way. Let's break down the code step by step. In our group management module, here's what inside main.tf. If you can see resource Okta group example, I'm providing only name, which will gonna be the group name, and the description, following by the variables, which we're gonna be using in our centralized main.tf file. I'm also assigning a user to a group utilizing the resource which we have just discussed about Okta group membership. This creates group using two variables, name and description, and also the third variable which will gonna be available will gonna be the user group membership. Now let's check our variables.tf file. Here I have defined group name, group description, users group membership. These are the variables which are coming from Okta group resource and Okta group membership resource, which we have defined in the module group management. This makes your module reusable, so you can create any number of groups by just changing input variables. Let's check our outputs.tf file. Here I have defined group ID. This lets us pass the group ID to another resource like the group membership resource in our root configuration. Let's move into our main.tf file, which is in the root directory. I'm gonna be minimizing my modules directory just to avoid any confusions. Here you can see we have previously defined in our last video Okta user, where we are calling the modules directory and user_management module. This is pretty basic and a demo purpose module which we have created for user. Similarly, now we have created a group management module. This will gonna be helping us to create a new group in Okta, as well as utilizing the module Okta user to assign the user inside of that group using the group membership resource. And just like that, you have created a user, created a group, and assigned the user to that group using Terraform. Here, if you look closely, we haven't defined any variable in the user group membership, which should be a user ID. But as we have already created a module Okta user where we have an output for the user ID, we are utilizing that output as an input for the user group membership. Now, I'm just aligning, instead of defining the user explicitly, what I'm trying to do, I'm utilizing the same module.octauser.octauser_id, which is basically the output over here. Now let's look into our terraform.tf vars, which we have already populated in our last video. There are fields like Okta org name, Okta API token, which is blurred in this video as it is the secret. You always have to hide for others. Do not share it. Just keep it somewhere safe. As I'm utilizing in a terraform.tf vars the same secret, it is not advised in the production environment to use these secrets inside of the TF vars. Use it somewhere in the secret manager, call it through the Terraform, or use environment variables in production for safety. Now let's do some terminal magic. Let's start with Terraform init. This will going to initialize the modules which we will gonna be using. It will gonna be sourcing everything from Terraform registry, and you can see all those modules getting downloaded. Now, the next command we are gonna use is Terraform plan. In the planning phase, Terraform gives you an output, what it will gonna try to do by using the code. And over here, as we can see, Terraform will gonna be trying to create an Okta group membership and assigning the user. And it will also gonna be creating an Okta user. After our last demo or the last video in creating of the Okta user, I have removed that user. But now, as a part of this whole module, let's try to recreate everything in one go. Lastly, I'm gonna be just typing Terraform apply. I'm going to ask Terraform will perform the actions desired above. We will gonna be choosing yes, because we wanna do that. And there you go. You can see the 3 resources has been added in our Okta account, and we are gonna check it in a moment. But over here, if you can see in the output, we have an Okta group ID, Okta user ID, Okta user login, and Okta user login status. Now let's head over to our Okta tenant. I've already logged in over here, and let's go to the directory people, where we can see our new user action. If I'm gonna open, and I can check in the groups. There is a DevOps team group which is available where this user has been added, and this is the same group which we have created over here. If you can see, the group name which I have mentioned was DevOps team, and the group for all DevOps engineers. Now let's try to remove everything. Let's run the command terraform destroy. This will going to cleanly remove the user, group, and their relationship. No more leftovers. Now I just have to double check whether I'm removing everything. And always remember this as a best practice. Before you hit yes, make sure you're removing the right things or the right resources which you intend to remove. So what we are removing over here is the created group membership, and our Okta user. The 3 resources we're going to destroy. Let's say yes. Let's say yes. And the destroy has been done completely. Now we can head over to our Okta admin console. We just have to refresh the page, and the user is gone, and there is no DevOps team group available. And as you can see, the user has been removed, group has been removed, and the relationship as well. There are no more leftovers available. For production, always manage your state safely. I recommend using AWS S3 or Terraform Cloud. This was simple demo-focused video to help you understand the core concepts quickly. In real-world projects, I build much more complex modules with CI/CD pipelines, GitOps, custom logic in Python and Bash, approval-based flows, and much more. If your company or team needs something more powerful and production-ready, feel free to reach out. You will find my contact details and professional profile in the description below. Also, in the end, if this helped you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Thank you for watching.